Hey everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. Sorry I've been absent the last couple of days. I've been a little bit off colour, so I took the time out, so we'll do some catching up this week. Thank you so much for your love, your support and your kind comments. I know when I don't appear that people do check in, and I thank you for that. What else can I update you on? Be careful of scammers. I think I say that every time now. I'm just forever pulling them off my page, especially my Facebook page. So if you're going to post something on Facebook, I would say to you that you may get somebody try to scam money out of you. It's not me. Okay. And I don't endorse, sorry, I don't endorse anybody doing it on my page. If I was going to endorse somebody, I would actually do something with them. So as I've done in the past. If you do want a personal reading with me, that's your decision. You can follow me up. I don't have my website going at the moment, but you can follow me up with an email, theaussiegoddess@gmail.com. That's it, the Aussie Goddess, all normal spelling, no numbers, at gmail.com. And I'm still doing personal readings. Alrighty, we're going to use the Green Witch Tarot for your reading today. So it's been a little milder here. We've got a bit of rain today too, so quite pleasant weather. Alrighty. Actually, yeah, one thing I was going to say, somebody wrote to me, and thank you so much for your input, about, because I used to do classes on learning the tarot, and they were very popular. And I just don't have the time to do them at the moment, but somebody was saying it'd be really good if you could tape them and put them up on the channel, like actually do taped classes. So I'm going to have a little look into that and see if it is viable. If you are interested in that, please put a comment in the box. I'm not really sure how to do it on the YouTube channel, but I will work that out. But it may be that you have to have a separate membership, but we'll work something out for that. All right, so we're starting off today with the Knight of Pentacles. So there's some sort of offer coming through. It could be from a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. If it would be, it would probably be somebody a little bit younger. But somebody's definitely coming in with an offer here. Often with the Knight, I feel like it's a slow offer. So we always talk about the Knight of Pentacles being a little bit more of a plodder because he thinks things through a lot more than the other sides. So what I see here is somebody coming through with some sort of offer. More than likely it is around resources or job, work, money. But it's always been a long time coming. So either you've been waiting a long time to get a job, waiting a long time to sort of move forward, and that's sort of when the Knight comes around. It just sort of always makes me feel like it's taking longer than it should. All right, so we do have Temperance after that. So Temperance is a card that talks about vibration, being balanced, all of those sort of things. And it sort of brings around that whole idea of divine timing. So when you're in alignment with that you are trying to manifest, then it comes into being. And the Temperance card can mean that perhaps you are in the right place at the moment. Maybe there was something waiting until it was right. You know, sometimes, you know, for example, if you were going to you wanted a job, right? And you put out to the universe, I want this particular job, but maybe the job isn't ready with that place yet. And then it may seem to take a little bit of time. But again, you've got to align with the object of your desire. And the only way you can align is by being in your own vibration, up to the vibration of what you're trying to bring in. Okay, so let's just take one more card here. Yeah, we have the Wish card coming through. I don't really need to do any more on that because whatever this is you've been waiting for, hoping for, dreaming of with that Nine of Cups. I'm just going to go a little bit further. All right, so we do have, oh wow, all major arcanas. We do have the Devil energy with the Hanged Man and then the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like for most of you this is about work. However, it does make me feel that if it's about something else here, that you've put a lot of work in, especially with the Eight of Pentacles and then the Temperance card. That's really working on yourself, working on your own balance, working on your own vibration. This is why, as readers, when something happens that doesn't come around for you, we always support you working through your own energy. And I'm reading a couple of really, really good books at the moment on that. Once I've sort of got a bit more into them, I'll recommend them. But how do you do the work? And a lot of people say that to me. But first, you have to recognize that there's something there that you need to work on. So if you're not, for example, finding what you want to work on, it may be that your own vibration's low, or you don't believe in yourself, you don't trust yourself, you don't believe it can happen. And even more than that, that you're stuck in that energy. And then you need to start working on how do you raise that vibration? How do you believe in yourself? And that's why we talk about loving yourself. And I think loving yourself is a very broad sort of energy. And I think for a lot of people that becomes confusing. I used to think it was really tacky when people said you don't love yourself enough, but understandably, it can be low self-esteem, low confidence. It can be that you're completely stuck in a victim mentality, not believing in any way, shape, or form you can ever come out of that. So that's where you would be if you were starting to see that you needed to change things. And I feel like when I'm working with people, especially if I'm doing readings or coaching, when people say certain things to me, I know already where they're at. So if you become defensive to feedback, if you become non-receptive to anything that is being said to you in a very practical, positive way, then maybe there's something about you needs to stop and think, can I benefit from that, or do I need to go back to the beginning, childhood, whatever, and just do the work that I need to do? I guess mostly it's about raising your self-awareness, raising your ability to be the observer rather than spending all your time in your head, and certainly raising your confidence or your self-esteem to have belief that you can do things. It's really, really interesting, and I think it's also very sad that we become the person that everybody expected us to be rather than trusting that we could be the person we were. But we can still find that person. And as much as I'd like to talk more, I know the reading needs to happen. All right, so we have the Four of Cups. There it is right there. Okay, King of Swords coming through, King of Athame in this deck. We have the Queen of Cups. No, somebody's really working on themselves here with the Eight of Wands. You are definitely trying to manifest something here. And I feel like with this Queen of Cups, maybe you're already hitting the mark. Maybe you're already become more intuitive. You may have already picked up your own tarot decks. You may be sensing things better. You are living in your body rather than in your head and your mind. Maybe you've worked on that overthinking. And a lot of that childhood stuff, or a lot of stuff that we've learned in childhood that doesn't really serve us as an adult but needs to be healed for us to move on. And I feel like here with this Four of Cups, to me, this is, this energy of being dissatisfied with what you've been offered. It could be that you're still in love with someone and you've had a lot of suitors come through and these people seem to be great, but you can't quite get past what you had in the past. Then the healing becomes, how do you heal your past and how do you let things go? Because once the past is gone, we can't access it again. So I feel like here it could be that you can't get the job that you want. A lot of other jobs have come along, but they don't ring your bell, float your boat, so you just keep putting them on the back burner. The King of Swords makes me feel like here that either you're dealing with the Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or you're dealing with this energy of needing to stand up, speak up, sit in your logical mind rather than your feelings. Sometimes if you've had a pretty tough sort of beginning in life, you can have a lot of emotional dysregulation. We can become more emotional about things than we really need to. And I know I've talked about that before. For example, somebody's late and your emotional state will go straight to the negative. Have they had an accident? Are they, hurt in some way? They haven't called me. And then we start to get into that more grief state where we're going, why didn't they do that? How dare they do that to me? And we start to get angry and we work our way through that. And sometimes we just have to be logical. We just have to be able to say to ourselves, maybe that person wasn't able to get their car started. I'll give them another half an hour or an hour, and then we just let it go. So I feel like here there is a real energy for you to step out of your overthinking, out of your emotional body, and more into a logical state. So if that's the case, maybe it's emotional dysregulation you need to work on. I do, however, have the Queen of Cups here. So this tells me that you are starting to understand your capacity to trust your intuition. You are starting to understand how to work with your emotions. If you see the card here, she's on a rock. The water's not really, it's not enveloping her, it's just sort of splashing occasionally, and water represents the emotions. So sometimes we see somebody with their foot just dipping in the emotions, so sometimes it means we have to be a little bit more logical and a little bit less emotional. And then we have the beautiful Eight of Wands. So there's definitely communication coming in here, something you have been waiting for, but I don't think you've been waiting on the doorstep looking at every time someone knocks at your door. This is really that, okay, I'm going to put the waiting on the back burner, but in the meantime, I'm going to work on what I need to work on. So if, for example, you've been waiting for a particular job, maybe you're immersing yourself into some self-care activities, keeping yourself busy. Maybe you're, upping your health and diet and your exercise. Whatever it is, you're self-focused here. All right, so we have the Chariot card coming through. Cancer reading today, by the way. We do have another Knight. That's the Knight of Wands. So things are moving very quickly and there's some sort of cycle closing out here. So I feel like I want to say, whatever you've been working to, there is a real sense of sort of crossing the threshold and achieving. However, even though the Chariot appears, we always know that the Chariot isn't free-flowing. Sometimes it can mean that you haven't quite got all your ducks in a row. But that Knight of Wands tells me that once you're aligned, you'll move very quickly. So the more you get into your own vibration, the more higher vibrating you are, the more likely you are to reach your goals. All right, so we have a lot of major arcanas in this reading. We do have the Hermit card coming through with the Victory card. That's what I said. I think once you get it going, we have the Tower coming through. So again, another major arcana. Clarifying the Tower, I have the Queen of Pentacles. All right. So here, this makes me feel like whatever you're doing, whatever you're investing in, if you're taking time out from the world to make decisions about things, if it means you've got to go back to the drawing board, the Victory card's here, the Wish card is here to me. That says everything is going to go in your direction. Just means you need to focus on what you need to focus on for yourself. However, with the Tower here, maybe it's just a matter of you seeing things from a slightly different perspective. Maybe, in order to grow, you've had to break down everything that you've sort of worked on in the past. Maybe you've had to adopt a different way of seeing things. Now, if you're stuck in that victim mentality where you're always seeing the worst or the negative, like all of us will move towards that. It's human nature to sometimes feel negative about things. There's a long way different between feeling a little negative and being in that victim mentality, because when we're feeling a little negative, we can pull ourselves out of that and move forward. But if we're in the victim mentality, we don't see an out there, so we're stuck there. What I see here is that needs to sort of break down completely. Maybe you've started to recognize it. Maybe you started to understand how you self-sabotage yourself. So for example, you're up for something really big. Someone's giving you a job interview. It's the job you're after. It's the romance you're after, whatever it is. And before you've even gone, you're going, I don't know why I'm bothering with this because I'm not going to get it anyway. Victim mentality. However, if you are thinking, you know what, I'm going to give this my all. If it doesn't turn out the way I want it to, at least I know I've put 100% into it. So even though you may sort of negate or address that negativity, you're at least putting some sort of positive spin on it. We know how this mind works. We know that you can tell yourself pretty much anything. And if you're convincing enough and you're coming from a place of high vibration, you have a good chance of bringing it forward. And I feel like here with this Tower and the Queen of Pentacles, to me, she's picking up that pentacle that the Knight was carrying in the beginning, because she's changed the way she sees things or the way she sees her world. Let's just have a quick look again. So we have somebody coming in to make an offer. I feel like you're in the right vibration to receive this. It is about a wish coming true here. We do have the Devil card here with the Hanged Man. So it does say to me that perhaps you've changed the way you think about things, or you've recognized your own shadow here. And we do have the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like for many of you, this may be an opportunity, a job. It could be a relationship. It feels very much more like something more in the way of resources, work. Maybe you've got a grant with that money coming through. Because I always think when we see, you know, the Pentacles, it could be that finally somebody's offered us, you know, money to get a business off the ground, for example. All right, let's have a look at the wisdom of the Oracle. Archangel Uriel jumped out at me before, so it'll be interesting to see whether she comes out again. What? No, here and now. Beautiful. All right, that's card 32, which of course adds up to 5, if it's your number. I don't remember pulling this card many times, actually. This is about being fully present in the moment and living one day at a time. So what beautiful, beautiful support from Spirit. Everything happens in the now. So I always talk about the power of now by Eckhart Tolle. Only this moment counts. The past is gone, the future is yet to be, so you're only living in the moment. That's it. Crazy, isn't it? You have what it takes to handle anything today if you let go of the need to look into the future or reflect on the past. Be present and notice what is going on right now. This very moment has potential for you to create miracles in your life. Wow, what a beautiful card to get on that reading. I'm never, ever surprised. Alrighty, you have a great day. Thank you.